In a bustling compound in the heart of Ibadan, Mama Toyin and Mama Ayo were neighbours and close friends. Both women sold goods at Boda Market, often dazzling the crowds with their vibrant Ankara dresses and matching jail head wraps. Their friendship extended to their children, Tuan and Ayo, who were practically inseparable. Every day after school, the two raced through the compound, their laughter echoing as they played games in their colourful African print outfits. One serene evening, as the dim glow of a lantern lit their meal of amala and yudu soup, Ayo turned to his mother with a hopeful look. "Mama, I want a phone," he blurted out, catching her by surprise. Mama Ayo paused, her brow lifting in surprise. "Ayo, you're still too young for a phone," she replied firmly. "But Mama, all my friends have one." Ayo pleaded, determination in his eyes. Mama Ayo thought for a moment, then smiled. "All right, if you come first in your class this term, I'll buy you a phone, but you have to work for it." From that day forward, Ayo became a boy on a mission. He studied late into the night, reciting lessons under the flicker of a kerosene lamp. Toyin teased him endlessly. "You really want that phone, don't you?" She laughed as they sat on the compound steps one evening. "Yes," Ayo replied confidently, flipping through his schoolbook. "And I'll prove to Mama that I deserve it." The term flew by, and on the final day, Ayo came sprinting into the compound, his report card in hand. "Mama, I came first! I did it!" he shouted, his grin stretching from ear to ear. Mama Ayo swept him into a tight hug. "You've made me so proud, Ayo. A promise is a promise. You'll get your phone." The very next day, Mama Ayo returned from the market with a sleek, shiny phone. Ayo's excitement was contagious. He and Tuan spent hours exploring the device, laughing at games, silly videos, and marveling at its features. It felt like magic in their hands. One afternoon, while their mothers were away at the market, they stumbled upon an unfamiliar app. "What's this?" Ayo asked, tapping on the icon. The screen filled with strange, unfamiliar videos. "This doesn't look like a game," Tuan said nervously. "It's probably for adults," Ayo guessed. Despite their uncertainty, curiosity got the better of them, and the videos became their secret. "We can't tell anyone," Ayo whispered. Tuan nodded, but an uneasy feeling settled in her stomach. The videos soon became a regular part of their afternoons. They stopped playing outside and spent more time behind closed doors. Tuan's unease grew, and one day she finally asked, "Ayo, do you think this is wrong?" "It's just videos," he shrugged. "We're not doing anything bad." But the seed of doubt had been planted. One afternoon, Tuan hesitantly said, "Ayo, I have an idea." "What is it?" Ayo asked, still scrolling through the phone. "What if we try doing what they're doing in the videos? Maybe we'll understand better." Ayo froze, his face clouded with shock. "No, Tuan, that's not for us to try." "Why not?" she insisted. "No one will know." After much persistence, Ayo reluctantly agreed. They chose a secluded corner of the compound, their hearts racing with a mix of fear and excitement. Just as they were about to act, the sound of approaching footsteps sent them scattering in different directions. Mama Tuan appeared in the yard, her eyes scanning suspiciously. The close call made Ayo and Tuan decide to be more cautious. From then on, they locked themselves in Ayo's room whenever they wanted to explore the forbidden. "This is safer," Tuan said. "It still feels wrong," Ayo muttered, glancing nervously out the window. Days later, Tuan brought up the idea again. "This time, let's do it when no one's home," she suggested. "I don't know, Toyin," Ayo replied, his voice shaky. "Trust me, it'll be quick," she said with a reassuring smile. But just as they prepared to act on her suggestion, the sound of a car pulling into the compound stopped them in their tracks. "Our mothers are back!" Ayo exclaimed, panicking. They quickly hid the phone under a pillow as Mama Ayo walked in, her eyes narrowing. "What's going on here?" she asked, her tone sharp. Under Mama Ayo's piercing gaze, the children broke down and confessed everything. The videos, their curiosity, and their plans. Mama Io's face turned pale as she listened. "This is serious. I need to speak with Mama Tuan," she said firmly. That evening, the two mothers sat together, their faces heavy with concern. "We've failed these children," Mama Tuan said, her voice breaking. "We need to guide them," Mama Io replied, her resolve strong. The next day, they met with a local counsellor at the community centre. The counsellor listened carefully and said, "These children are at a vulnerable stage. They need guidance, love, and understanding." The mothers agreed to start family counselling sessions. During these sessions, Io and Toyne learned about boundaries, responsibility, and the importance of talking to trusted adults. "It's okay to be curious," the counsellor told them, "but always ask for help when you're unsure." The sessions brought the families closer. Mama Tuan and Mama Io began spending more time with their children. "We'll play a game together every evening," Mama Tuan promised. "And we'll have weekly family talks," Mama Io added. The children felt loved and supported, and slowly, they rediscovered the joy of playing outside. Months later, the compound was filled with laughter again as Io and Tuan jumped rope in the yard. "We've come a long way," Mama Tuan said, watching the children with a smile. Mama Io nodded. "Parental guidance is everything. Children need love, attention, and a safe space to grow.